So, how long is a minute, really? 60 seconds, we all know that. But think about it. It's just long enough to get impatient waiting for something, but not really long enough to do, well, anything important. But what if that single minute was everything? What if it was a life-or-death countdown? You know, here on Earth, 60 seconds is nothing. You tie your shoes, check your phone, maybe zone out for a bit. But if we could just snap our fingers and transport you to Venus, well, that same minute becomes an eternity of being crushed and melted at the exact same time. The whole idea of time just completely changes when the planet you're on is actively trying to erase you. So that's the whole idea behind this explainer. We're gonna go on a little tour. We're gonna drop you, hypothetically of course, onto every single planet in our solar system for exactly 1 minute. The question is simple. Can you make it to the buzzer, or does the universe hit the delete button on you first? All right, let's start with our closest, rockiest neighbors. This first part of the tour is all about fire, dust, and just unbelievable temperatures. First stop is the planet huddled right up next to the sun. Okay, you open your eyes and you're on Mercury. The sun is just terrifyingly huge in a pitch-black sky. It's a world of the most brutal extremes you can imagine. So, the clock starts now. Can you actually survive this? Yes, you actually make it. You survive the full minute. But hey, before you get too cocky, you really need to understand how you survived. Because this was no walk in the park, not even close. Your survival here, it's all down to pure, dumb luck. It's about where you landed. See, there's this tiny little strip of land, right between the furnace of the day side and the absolute deep freeze of the night side. You'd have to hold your breath for that entire minute in a near vacuum while your skin literally starts to sizzle. Yeah, deeply uncomfortable, but hey, it's technically survivable. After that close call, you might be feeling pretty good about yourself. Don't, because next up is Venus, and this is where our little tour gets genuinely terrifying. The party is absolutely 100% over. You don't even get 1 second, seriously. Before you can even process the fact that you're surrounded by thick, yellow, toxic clouds, it's over. The timer doesn't even get a chance to start. And here's why. Venus hits you with 3 things all at once. The atmospheric pressure is so insane, it's like being a mile deep in the ocean. It just instantly crushes you. At the same time, the temperature is 900 degrees. That's hot enough to melt lead. And on top of all that, the air itself is a thick, acidic soup. So you are crushed, cooked, and dissolved before your brain can even fire a single synapse. Okay. After the complete hellscape of Venus, our next stop, Mars, might almost feel like a relief. It's cold, yeah, it's dusty, sure, but it looks kinda manageable, right? Well, not quite. You've got about 15 seconds. That is the magic number here. 15 seconds of consciousness before the planet just takes over. So here's how your minute on Mars breaks down. For the first 15 seconds, you're awake. You're looking around at this amazing red desert. But the atmosphere is so incredibly thin, there's just not enough pressure to keep you conscious, so you'd pass out. You'd then spend the remaining 45 seconds of our little challenge fast asleep on the Martian soil. So you'd technically survive the minute, but you wouldn't be awake to celebrate. Okay, we are leaving the rocky inner planets far behind us and heading out to the giants. And this is where the rules of the game change completely, because now there is nowhere to even stand. On Jupiter and Saturn, you just fall. There's no solid surface. You're immediately grabbed by this intense gravity and pulled down into clouds of gas. And those clouds just get thicker and thicker and thicker until the pressure simply squishes you. On either one of these planets, you are gone in under 5 seconds. This is a whole new kind of horror, isn't it? It's not about being hot or cold anymore. It's about an inescapable, endless descent. Just try to imagine being pulled down into an atmosphere that starts to feel like concrete, crushing you from every single direction. That's how it ends for you on the gas giants. You might be thinking, well, it can't get any worse than that. But oh, it does. On the ice giants, Uranus and Neptune, you have the exact same problem. No ground, just falling. But here, you're also getting blasted with supersonic winds and a cold so profound, it's been described as bone-shattering. Your survival time here? It's cut down to less than 2 seconds. So, we've been crushed, boiled, frozen, and dropped into nothingness. We've survived for a whole minute, and we've been obliterated in less than a second. But we have one final destination on this tour, the grand finale, the ultimate test. We've visited all the planets, but But what about the star at the center of everything? What does a 60-second survival challenge even look like on the surface of the sun? 1/10 of 1 second. That's it. It is the most absolute, the most undeniable, and the most instantaneous end that you could possibly imagine. In that tiny fraction of a second, you're not just gone. Every single atom in your body is instantly converted into incandescent gas. You don't leave a trace. You aren't even a memory. You're just vapor. What a brutal journey, right? It really makes you think. It almost brings to mind one of those big philosophical questions. If your entire existence is just measured in seconds, does it even matter where you spend them? When survival is that fleeting, what's the value of a place? And that really brings us to the whole point of this. After touring all of these cosmic death traps, the answer is crystal clear. Yes, the planet you stand on matters more than anything else in the universe. Our 60-second skid on Earth isn't a desperate struggle for survival. It's a gift. It's the only place in this entire system where a minute is just a minute. So that leaves one final question for you. Let's just say you had the perfect, most high-tech suit imaginable, protecting you from every single thing we just talked about. Which of these hostile, deadly worlds would you choose for your 60-second visit? The crushing depths of Jupiter, maybe? Or the cold, dusty plains of Mars? It's something to think about.
If you liked this video, hit the subscribe button to support this channel and make sure you see more content like this.